High Fives Club friends, it's Teacher Janelle. I hope you're having a great day. I want to read you another story about mistakes because I think that mistakes are so important because they help our brain to grow. This story is called The Invisible Mistake Case. The author is Charise Harper. Today was a beautiful day. The sun was shining, the birds were tweeting, and the clouds in the sky were puffy and white. But even on beautiful days, bad things can happen. And a bad thing did happen right in front of the steps of 24 West Vine Street. An alligator named Charlotte called her best friend Kate a big pink baby. And then, right after she said it, Charlotte stomped into her house and slammed the front door. "I won't cry," said Kate. But of course she cried all the way home. Have you ever used unkind words with a friend? Or a mom or a dad or a brother or a sister? How did that make you feel? How do you think it made your friend feel? Or your mom or your dad or your brother or sister? Kate said she wasn't going to cry, but we know it's okay to cry when you get your feelings hurt. And she did end up crying. 7 seconds after she slammed the door, Charlotte felt a little bad. And 8, 9, 10 seconds later, she felt even worse. She wished she hadn't called her best friend, Kate, a big pink baby. In fact, she wished it so hard it pushed all the other wishes she had right out of her head. Sometimes a big wish can move down a throat and into a stomach. Charlotte was so filled up with her wish that she couldn't even eat her dinner, which was pizza and French fries. Sometimes we feel kind of uncomfortable inside after we hurt somebody's feelings. Charlotte lived with her grandpa. Grandpa was a smart man. He knew a little about a lot of things and about a little alligator named Charlotte. Grandpa could tell something was wrong. He made Charlotte sit down and tell him all about it. "Oh, Grandpa," cried Charlotte. And she told him the whole story, in between sniffles and snorts. "Ah," said Grandpa, "this is one for the invisible mistake case." "The what?" sobbed Charlotte. "I will tell you," said Grandpa. And then he did, because he always kept his word. I wonder what the invisible mistake case is. Let's see. The invisible mistake case is a suitcase where I keep all of the mistakes I've made once and never want to make again. I carry it everywhere I go. "It's right here," said Grandpa, and he pointed to an empty space on the floor. Charlotte squinted her eyes but couldn't see anything. "What's in it?" she asked. "Well, let's see," said Grandpa, and he opened his invisible mistake case. At least it looked like he did. "I'll just pick out one of the things to show you. And then it's time for dessert." Grandpa was very fond of dessert. "Ah, here's my piece of pie," said Grandpa, holding up something invisible. Then he shut the suitcase up tight so Charlotte couldn't see inside, which she couldn't anyway because it was invisible. And with Charlotte right there on his knee, he told her a story about pie. Grandpa's pie story. "When I was a young alligator," Grandpa said, "my mama made me for dessert every Sunday night a pie. The pie was just the right size for everyone to have one piece on Sunday and then have the leftovers for dessert on Monday. I liked all kinds of pie, but my favorite was cherry pie. One Sunday night, after a particularly delicious cherry pie dessert, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about the pie downstairs and how I'd like to have just one more small bite. I waited until everyone was asleep, then got out of bed and sneaked down to the refrigerator. Do you know what he's going to do? Let's see if you're right. There was the pie. I cut a little piece off the edge. It was yummy. But then the pie looked crooked. I had to cut off and eat 3 more pieces until it looked straight again. I was sure no one would notice, and I went back to sleep with a warm and full tummy. On Monday night, Mama brought out the leftover cherry pie. It looked very small. Who ate the pie? She asked. Everyone, including me, said, "Not me." Of course, I was lying. That night, we all had teeny tiny pieces of pie, and I went to bed with a funny feeling in my stomach. Every day for 5 days, Mama asked me and my brother John the same question. "Did you eat the pie?" "It wasn't me," I answered, and then I looked at John suspiciously. So Mama would maybe think it was him that ate the pie. "I didn't eat it," said John. "Maybe it was a ghost." Do you ever make up stories when you don't want to tell the truth? Yeah. And every night I went to bed with a tummy ache, and I had bad dreams. Sometimes when we lie, right, our tummy hurts and we have bad dreams. Do you see the bad dream that he had? A cherry pie is chasing him. Kind of silly. Finally, on the 6th day, when Mama asked, "Did you eat the pie?" I said, "Yes, it was me, Mama." Mama was surprised. "I thought it was John," she said. John said, "I knew it wasn't me." I wasn't allowed to have dessert for a whole week, but you know what? My tummy aches and my bad dreams stopped right away. I decided that even though I could lie better than John could tell the truth, I would try to never lie again. Notice he said he would try to never lie again. It's hard sometimes to not make the same mistake, but he knows that it was wrong and he was going to try not to do it again. And just in case I ever forget that promise, I keep this piece of pie in my suitcase. Anytime I worry I might tell even a teeny tiny lie, I open up my suitcase, see this piece of pie, and remember my promise. "I'll never lie because of this pie," said Grandpa, and then he put his invisible pie back into his invisible mistake case. "How about some dessert?" he asked Charlotte, who suddenly felt a little bit more hungry. After a delicious ice cream dessert and a warm soapy bubble bath, it was time for bed. "Is it heavy?" asked Charlotte, pointing down to the empty space beside Grandpa. "Not at all," Grandpa smiled. "In fact, I'll tell you a secret," he said, and with Grandpa's whispering secret about heavy on the inside and light on the outside, Charlotte fell fast asleep. The next day was gloomy. The wind was blowing, the rain was falling, and the clouds felt like a big gray pancake covering the whole sky. But even on gloomy days, good things can happen. Charlotte skipped with happy steps all the way to her best friend Kate's house. Every couple of minutes, she smiled, looked down, and swung her arm like she was holding a suitcase, but she wasn't. Her hand was completely empty. When she got to Kate's house, she took a deep breath, climbed the stairs, and knocked on the door. Kate opened the door just a crack. She didn't want Charlotte to call her a big pink baby all over again. But Charlotte didn't. "I'm so sorry for calling you a big pink baby," said Charlotte. "I promise never to call you a name again. And just so I don't forget, I made up this rhyme. I'll call Kate Kate in the sun. I'll call Kate Kate in the rain. I'll forever call Kate Kate and not a name again." And I put it on the name tag right here inside my invisible mistake case. "Really?" said Kate. And she squinted her eyes to see where Charlotte was pointing. "It's a suitcase," said Charlotte, "but it's not at all heavy." And then she told Kate all about it right after she walked in the front door. Friends, this book is such a good reminder of how important it is to check in with our friends when we hurt their feelings and see how they're doing. It's also important to remember when we make mistakes and try not to do them again. Mistakes are okay. They actually help our brain to grow. But it's important to try not to do them again. Boys and girls, I really enjoyed reading this story with you today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon on video. Bye-bye.